Hi, we are Group A21. I'm Matt Barnett.
I'm Ashton Pierce.
Rachel Klein.
I'm Hung Nguyen.
I'm Tim Lee, and this is the activation of brown fat in adult humans. Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about brown adipose tissue. Brown adipose tissue, or BAT for short, is a type of fat whose purpose is to generate body heat in animals, as opposed to white fat, whose main purpose is to store energy. It was assumed that human adults did not have any BAT, but recent studies have shown that they have small amounts of BAT present in the neck and upper chest. One major function that is important to human health is that BAT takes the calories from white fat and burns them. One question that we're going to explore today is this: which conditions activate BAT so that it burns more calories in the body?
Okay, to answer the previous question, I want to talk about a paper that's just recently published this year by Adipose and the others. In the paper, a study is conducted where 10 healthy volunteers are given ephedrine, saline, or exposed to cold temperature. As a result of the experiment, there's a noticeable higher amount of glucose uptake in those that are exposed to cold temperature as compared to the effect of ephedrine and saline. The results also show that there's a significant impact of cold temperatures to volume as well as the activity of brown adipose tissue. The effect of saline and ephedrine on brown adipose tissues is very minimal. As you can see in figure B and C, for saline, it's over here, and ephedrine, all the subjects remain at or below the level of detectable activity, while that of cold exposure, all the points are very high up there. And as the paper concludes, only exposure to cold temperature, but not sympathol mimetic drugs, can substantially and consistently activate brown adipose tissue.
In addition to the previous study, another experiment to test the effect of cold temperature was carried out, where they gathered 6 healthy male participants and lowered their body temperatures by 4 degrees Celsius using a cooling suit to prevent shivering. This picture diagrams Willay's method. The participants' skin and core temperature, along with EMG, CT, and PET scans, were monitored throughout the experiment. One group was given an IV of glucose, and the other group was given an IV of palmitate. Their blood was periodically tested to see how BAT was being affected. Glucose uptake was higher in BAT at the cooler temperature, therefore burning more calories.
In this module, we discussed in depth the processes in which glucose is taken in by the cell to eventually yield ATP. We know that white adipose tissue stores energy and brown adipose tissue generates heat. Given this information, researchers investigated how brown adipose tissue affects the metabolism. What researchers overall discovered in these experiments was that exposure to cold significantly increases glucose uptake in brown adipose tissue. Linking this back to our module, this means that since more glucose is taken up into brown adipose tissue in the presence of cold temperatures, more sugars are oxidized, more energy or ATP is produced, and metabolic rate increases. As shown in this picture, when sugar or glucose is burned, an oxidation reaction occurs and heat is given off.
We're going to look at this thing from the big picture. Obesity and diabetes are 2 major pandemics facing the United States. 2/3 of Americans are being diagnosed with diabetes every day. Oh, crap. I skipped one. All right.
Okay.
We're going to look at this thing from the big picture. Obesity and diabetes are 2 major pandemics facing the United States. 2/3 of Americans are considered overweight, and many people are being diagnosed with diabetes every day. These pandemics demand for newer and safer treatments, so any fat-burning solutions would be useful for the future of human health. The main take-home message from these 2 experiments is that figuring out a way to increase BAT amounts in humans could lead to these weight loss solutions. These 2 experiments are large steps forward in determining what activates BAT in humans and what effects this brown fat has on energy production and heat generation inside of our bodies. They determined that reduced skin temperature activated BAT, but what else does? Future experiments following the path of these experiments are going to attempt to find these drugs or techniques. But as of now, cold is the only sure determined force from these experiments that will increase BAT activity. But this does not mean go home and try a cooling vest so you can shave off a few pounds. Instead, go hit the nearest gym. These are our works cited.